Good morning, Trice Elementary. This is Mrs. Forby, and joining me today is my little dog, Domino. I tried starting announcements without him, however, he was not being cooperative and wanted to be in the same room with me, so Domino is joining us for announcements today. Happy birthday to Gary Bogacki and Allie Fuel. It's time for a moment of silence, so if you would, please join me. Thank you. All right, looking back in history, April 21st, 1789, John Adams became our very first vice president to take office. This actually was 9 days before George Washington was inaugurated. John Adams happened to arrive sooner than George Washington because George Washington had so many stops in different towns that people wanted to congratulate him on becoming president. So John Adams actually took office prior to George Washington 9 days earlier. And on April 21st, 1856, the very first bridge was built that crossed the Mississippi River. And on the very next day, April 22nd, the railroad drove across that bridge. And 15 days later, a steamboat hit that bridge. And then the ferry boat wanted to sue the railroad company for putting this bridge in the middle of the river and making it hard for them to get through. But guess what attorney represented the railroad? Abraham Lincoln. Before he became president of the United States, he was an attorney, and he was the attorney that represented the railroad after building the bridge to go across the Mississippi. I thought that was an interesting fact. Also, on April 21st, 1782, the inventor of the kindergarten program was born. His name was Friedrich Froebel, and he invented the kindergarten program. That's all I have for announcements today. Turning it over to you, Mr. Owens.
Good morning, parents and students. Welcome to another day of remote learning. I know that we have many questions that are going unanswered at this point, and that's one thing about this whole situation is that normally we are quick to answer and quick to respond and problem solve and get through things, but unfortunately, due to the significance of concerns, it's just very, very hard to answer a lot of questions right now. We are generating some frequently asked questions that are coming from our parents through our teachers, and also some questions that our teachers have, and we'll hopefully be getting the answers to those questions as soon as possible. But if you have any questions regarding the end of the school year or what remote learning will look like from here on out, please contact your teacher. Our plan is to send weekly plans until further notice, and you can expect that from us daily and in the weeks ahead. So we'll take it one day at a time, and now we'll dive into the book of success. We have lots of students that are still continuing to engage in their e-learning plan from Mrs. Lay's class. She said that Graydon Adams, Lucia Strabley, Garrett Taylor, Laksha Chabra, Brennigan Ogan, Brooks Fisher, Hillary Stewart, Cameron Lingenfelter, Kyle Pickford, Aubrey Small, Cora Gregory, and Riker Batson have all shared their learning. Good job, Mrs. Lay's class. In Mrs. Lukens' room, Asa Pritchard built a wooden electronic dinosaur during his STEM time at home. Walter Needs has been doing an art project almost every day. Great job, Asa and Walter. In Mrs. Mason's room, she was excited to see these students join her Zoom meeting on Friday to ask questions and learn about the incubator as they hatch their baby chickens. Mitchell, Liam, Maya, Jace, Hudson, Abby, Claire, Catalea, JC, Annabelle, Takia, Madeline, Mason, Matthew, Casey, and Savannah. Great job, Mrs. Mason's class, excuse me. In third grade, 82%, 140 out of 170 students in third grade had submitted some awesome perimeter work last week. They are proud of you and can't wait to watch the percentage grow. Mrs. Fields, Mrs. Hale, Mrs. Lang, Mrs. Morris, Miss Stock, Mrs. Tester, and Mrs. Vanderzil are all very proud of your hard work. 82%, that is fantastic. Third grade, great job and keep up the good work. Mrs. Fields wants to highlight Ethan Shelby last week. He was in their Zoom meetings. Sorry, Ethan. She apologizes for leaving your name out. Ms. Gravatt had another successful Zoom meeting. The following students shared their dance moves. Ooh, I bet that was fun, as they had a dance party, and Mrs. Horning joined into Harper, Evan, Sophie, and Jacob. Braden, Everett, Charlie, Brandon, Crosby, Adriana, Asa, and Liam. And finally, in Mrs. Mills's room, she had a Zoom meeting with Ariana Belk, Fred Bjornberg, Campbell Dial, Avery Halstead, Ashlyn Hicks, Ronald Kohlhaas, Haley McDonald, Alex Ramirez, Lane Ryman, Max Silva, Gracie Street. Alex shared a report on his mushroom hunting trip. Max shared a crystal, and Fred sang and played Hey Jude on his guitar. Sounds like a very talented class there, Mrs. Mills. Great job, boys and girls. Keep up the good work, and please let us know how we can help, parents. Thanks, and have a great day.